Hello, welcome to another episode of the Club World Cup journey. Back again, Group A, and it's looking mad right now. It is looking mad right now. It seems to me that the Brazilian teams have turned up, and in Group A, Palmeiras topping the group. In second, as you can see, Inter Miami. Now, when it came to the two games for this week's Group A, obviously Palmeiras was too strong for Al Ahly. My boy young Esteval is on his way to Chelsea after this tournament. Showed out. I do like Palmeiras. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they have a lot of young ballers. Obviously, their first goal was an own goal. Then second was from Lopez. They just were too strong for Al Ahly. Al Ahly gave it a go. They had a couple chances here and there, but I just think, especially with their attacking talent, you like the likes of Rafael Veiga, Torres, Victor Roque, Rios in midfield. They've got a lot of talented players that teams are gonna have to look at. I know Victor Roque was, I think, once at Barca, so I don't know if he's up there on loan or permanent. But yeah, man, there's a lot of players that have a bright future when it comes to this Portuguese, well, no, Brazilian league. My bad, not Portuguese. Same language, but when it comes to these Brazilian players. And yeah, I think they just dominated that game. I think it was very easy for them. A very simple game. They didn't really have much to do in terms of defeating Al Ahly. I think Al Ahly will probably finish bottom of the group in all things considered. And it, the interesting thing about this group is what happened in the other game. In all honesty, I think it was a very routine win for Palmeiras. Do I think Esteval was man of the match? Um, Me personally, I don't think so. I think there were other players in that team that were better. I understand that everything he did up to the point um was good, but I want to see a bit more from him. I want to see a bit more from him. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this team. The South American teams up to this point are unbeaten as well, so it's gonna be it's it's looking like that it's gonna be between South American and European teams to make it all the way. I think the South American teams are taking this tournament very seriously as well, and I like I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. In regards to the other game, when it came to FC Porto, this was the mad one because obviously they got the early goal through the penalty, and they pretty much were the better team when it came to the first half. But it seemed like, especially Messi, he rolled back the years for this game. I think he understood the importance of this match, understood the importance of the win. And I've said it on other channels, but I will say this. I feel like there are going to be some European teams that get knocked out of this tournament because they seem to not be taking it as seriously as they should. And also, I feel like this is considered a pre-season for them. Whereas teams, whether it's the South American teams, the other teams look at this as a proper tournament that they could win. Obviously, the first goal into Miami scored was a decent one. Obviously, everyone's going to be talking about the free kick from Messi. As I said, he rolled back the years. He had some great moments throughout the game. And yeah, that free kick was one of a kind, man. Top bins. It got them the win, and I think after they scored the second, Porto struggled to break down into Miami. And I think this Porto team is probably one of the weaker European teams, and it's looking like they're on their way out. Obviously, we've got one more match fixture between all the teams, and it's looking like it's gonna be Palmeiras and Inter Miami through this group, which is surprising considering the first game when I looked at Inter Miami, I felt they were a very poor team. I think they were very lucky to not lose to Al Ahly. I think, especially with the chances Al Ahly had in the first half. But in this game against Porto, I think they stepped it up. Um, And I also think Porto weren't at the races as well. For me personally, I feel like Porto needed to do a bit more. And as much as I like their striker Samu and some of the players that they have, I just think on the day as well, yeah, it was just very poor from them. Uh, and it did take a special moment from Messi to win the game, and that's the thing about these group stage matches. Maybe sometimes it just takes a moment of magic to win a game, and with that, I feel like that moment of magic led to them being Porto. I don't think either team would have scored outside of that free kick. I think up until that point, obviously Porto's only goal, even in this tournament, was a penalty. So they haven't really had any open play goals or made the most of their open play chances. And then even with Miami, their goals haven't been the best outside of that free kick. So I think both of these teams are the teams in this group. I don't think they're gonna go all the way, but I think Palmeiras will be a challenge for whoever they face in the next round. I do believe they will be. Not so much into Miami, and it's unfortunate that Porto aren't gonna are on the way not to making it out the group stage. I think at this rate they haven't done enough as a team, and I feel like even if they win their last game, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think personally they're gonna go through. Actually, be interested to. I need to remember who their last game is. Let me look at this. Who do they have as their last game? H. Al Ahly. Oh, okay. So okay, let's. So if they beat Al Ahly, they're gonna have to beat Al Ahly by a lot because obviously they got the -1 goal difference. Palmeiras are fading into Miami. So maybe they make it through on goal difference if they get the right win, but that's a stretch. I do think Palmeiras will beat Inter Miami in the coming towards the last game. I'll, I'll say that, and yeah, man, I think Palmeiras has been the best team in this group so far. Um, not by a lot, but by enough to the point where I think they are the best team in the group. Got a good point against Porto. Beat Al Ahly, and I think they'll be into Miami in the coming game. And yeah, there's not really much else to say with this group. I just think this group in itself, it started off with just boring draws, and they've scored some goals. I think the best goal so far in this group was Messi's free kick. But outside of that, it seems to be a lot of goals that are coming from set pieces rather than attacking play. And I think I don't see this group making it out of the round of 16. Anyone in this group making it out of the round of 16, in my opinion. But that's Group A so far. Be interesting to see what happens in the last game week. If Porto can squeeze through, if Palmeiras does beat Inter Miami, or if they end up drawing, that's also a possibility as well. So we'll see what happens in these last games. But that's Group A. This is the Club World Cup journey, African King, and I'm out. Peace.